So there are huge deficiency of trust and multilateralism and cooperation among developing countries and developed countries that we need to understand. So we, even as we enter the second week now, we don't see it heading towards the right direction. I'm very sorry to say that, but we don't see that negotiations are heading towards the right direction. The kind of flexibility that developing countries should be given, the kind of financial support that they can be given, which will also unlock their potential of mitigation and adaptation. Exactly. Observers' role is to let the countries know what is expected of them. We have been calling for leadership among countries that we do not see. There is a huge lot of work at the negotiations, while simultaneously there is a huge lot of work done at the national levels also. Like organizations like us who work on advocacy, there is a huge task among us, even in countries like India, to remind them of what they can do, what is their potential. We work nationally as well as regionally. In the national realm, we do several kinds of work. One is to supporting farmers and affected populations in enhancing their resilience and capacity. The second is to take these discussions to subnational levels, and we are among the first organizations who work on climate change and also on sustainable development goals at the subnational level. At the subnational level, there are hardly policy makers or bureaucrats who are aware of what is happening at the global negotiations or how the decisions being taken at the global negotiations are going to affect them. We also sort of provide a feed forward in the negotiations from the people's aspiration. What do they want from the negotiators to do? So besides capacity building, we do a lot of research and advocacy and try to support countries' action in terms of providing them suggestions on what can be better direction in agriculture, in say energy transition, in disaster management and things like that. But the problem is that we have not learned lessons from what we were not able to achieve from carbon trading mechanisms like ETS in Europe, and we are still going ahead with that. So unless there is a compulsory binding on the countries to reduce their emissions, I don't think that carbon prices will ever reach that kind of level that is expected them to reach. So besides this market-based mechanism, we should also ask countries to reduce their emissions aggressively. Unless we do that, it's not feasible to have a sustainable solution. I hope that the climate leaders will take notice of aspirations and ask of the civil society organizations and respond appropriately.